Alright guys, I just did a funny video on purpose, intentional, about Gabe Bult and New Hampshire Cleaning Services because the guy keeps giving me a hard time. Okay? He keeps giving me a hard time. So, when someone gives me a hard time, I am not afraid to give it back. And I do love the Bults. I do. But there's been a lot of accusations, a lot of rumors going around, and I'm going to set the record straight. Since my husband divorced me without ever asking what happened, I'm going to set this record straight here. So, what has popped up for me recently was my business class. And I had somebody say, all I did was I had said something about, hey, I worked at this cleaning company a long time ago in New Hampshire. Basically, they accused me of stealing for putting my hands in the candy dish and taking some M&Ms, right? Right away, I got some backlash right away. I got, well, was there a sign that said you could? I said, was there a sign that said I couldn't? And I'm like, what the hey, right? What the hey is going on with here because this communication is not good. So, so anyways, when I communicate, I like a lot of detail. I like to see the whole picture. I don't like these like black and white slap-on answers. So, so the whole story, right? When we talk about telling the truth, let's tell the whole story. So, when it came to stealing, I was taken in the kitchen. I was kind of cornered. Now, even if I was stealing, okay, let's say I did not deserve this kind of attitude. So, I'm going to ask him for a public apology for how he treated me. So anyways, he's like, we caught you on camera, which I didn't even know there were cameras watching me. I did not know that because you're supposed to have a sign at the door that there's cameras in the building. I did not see it. Maybe they were there, but I was not aware of this in the policy. But it didn't matter. We caught you on camera stealing M&Ms. I'm like, what? And I thought when he pulled me in the kitchen, he said, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm like, yeah. Hold on. Because I had something I was doing. And so I went in there totally unprepared for this. So he's like, we caught you, stealing M&Ms on the camera. I'm like, what? And he's like, you took M&Ms. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And he's like, that is stealing. And he would not stop. He's like, if you were in a store, would you walk out with a soda? Would you not pay for it? I'm like, no, of course not. Well, what makes you think you could take M&Ms? And na. It's kind of funny now, guys. It is. It's been many years. It's kind of funny. But anyways, I'm like, what? And so I was taking offense because he would not stop. I felt like he was my father telling me what to do. And he's like, and we caught you over at this account stealing soda out of the refrigerator. And I'm like, I couldn't even defend myself. I couldn't even say I had permission for that. And you took lollipops too. And he just kept going on, and he was like hitting me hard with everything. And so, I never worked for a company in my whole entire life like New Hampshire Cleaning Services. Never. I have never, ever, never got fired until he fired me. And then people keep firing me for no reason since I have been over there. So, so he had followed me for a little bit, or Gordon was, with jobs. I'd go to a new job and I'd see posters from Trinity Baptist. If you can't run with the big dog, stay on the porch. I'm like, ha ha. Then I saw information about my brother. Ha ha. Then I saw, what else did I see? Oh, at the bank I was accused of stealing vacuums. And they're like, because I told him I was going to sue him, he's like, now we're going to sue you for stealing vacuums. Which I'm like, yeah, right. Right? So they were being funny with me. So I stuck up for myself. So anyways, yeah, so that happened, and then I'm like, the lollipops were out in the open, and I know which account that was too. I still remember that. And it went on and on and on. So it's been how many years now? long time. So I had this girl in my class say, how long has this been going on? And what? He's still giving you a hard time and everything. So I was on a workshop one time and he's like, oh man, I got this person stalking me, acting like I'm such a pain, when he has been liking comments I left, okay? So then I see him, again, advertising for a workshop, all right? And the thing is this is the thing. So we got past all that. We got past all the stealing stuff, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, I was not stealing, da-da-da. I think I finally told him I had permission for that soda over at the bingo place. And then, let me think, what happened? Oh, so, I was being funny, and I put on an act crying a little bit, just to give him a hard time. And he felt bad, so he's like, okay, it wasn't in our policy. So I just gave him crap for what he did. And I had walked out too. I said, I'm not putting up with this crap, and I walked out. And then he's like, we don't want you to leave, we want you to stay. So for someone who's stalking him, and he said they want me to stay, he now says I'm stalking him. So anyways, on and on it goes. And then, what happened next? Oh, yeah, and then I get fired for no reason. And I'm told, because I stood up for myself, from his father, Gordon, what kind of company wants to hire a person like you for standing up for myself? So this was literally the worst company I ever worked for with policies. The worst. They weren't even on the same page. Like I would say something and then somebody would say something else, and there was no communication. Like, this person would send emails that she forgot this, or she didn't take out the box. And of course I didn't know if the box was trash or not. So then they put a label on the box to take it out. But I got these accusations. There was no communication. It was the hardest job without the communication to work at. And then there were some other things that happened too. And, I'm doing my job, and I had told him I was uncomfortable with all the attention he was giving me. I think he said he was bored or something. I don't know. So then, what happened next? So he comes up to me, and, I had gone, where was I? I'm trying to wonder, like, I had so many accounts over there. I had gone to this one account, and, I was getting nervous. I was like, okay, things are getting really out of control over here, and I was getting nervous. And when I get nervous, what do? I bite my lip. When I was young, my mother would say too, stop biting your lips, Melissa. It's something I do. So then he had said something like to me, he said something like, I got a girlfriend, something like that, after he tried to hit on me. And I go, great, where do you guys go to church? And he's like, oh, we go where she wants to go in Manchester. I'm like, oh, cool, nice. So he basically accused me of having the hots for him when he's the one who hit on me. So this has been going on for a while, guys, and I was telling somebody in my class. She's like, oh my goodness. She's like, he wanted something from you. I'm not going to say it went that far when he was coming at me, but she's like, why would he even come after you like that? And I'm like, I don't know. So a lot has been going on. Yes, I think for the most part, have, worked hard trying to work this out. But when somebody accuses you and then they still, you go on their workshop, you're like, okay, things are all peaceful now. I want to learn how to do YouTube better. I want to know how to do this better. So I'm going to learn from somebody who knows what they're doing. And he's sitting there licking his lips and, doing stuff and accusing you of stalking him. I did a video of how unprofessional that was. So be careful, ladies, of who you work for. Because I had said to my husband, I said, oh yeah, I guess I can work for the Bults. I'm like, you know how they are, because we felt like there was a little bit of legalism there. But I should be fine working for them. He goes, yeah, you should be fine working for them. He comes in once, I forgot a key or something, and he unlocked the door. My husband came to work to unlock the door for me or do something. And, you know, it was one thing after another. So, since then, I've gotten fired more times than I can think of with the dumbest things that I have been fired for. And, you know, sometimes some men think they need to break you in order to get you where they think you need to be. Don't fall for it, guys. Be a woman who communicates. Be a woman who is happy with yourself, and don't let others intimidate you. And I had tried to work it out with them, and I'm like, what? What are you firing me for? And Gordon's like, well, you know, it's this and it's that. And I'm like, I heard you're retiring. That's what someone told me. I'm not retiring. Where did you hear that from? And so he gave me information that really was not for me to see. And it was just all very unprofessional from the get-go, guys. So get your processes there. Know who you hire. Know what you're doing before you open a business, okay? So I listened to a sermon, and I'm like, Kevin Leandro's like, you're not going to admit what you did. And I'm like, what the heck did I do, right? What did I do? So I hear Trandy talking about having desire. And I'm like, this was shortly after Kevin said this and I said it. I said, what the heck did I do? No, I did not have a desire for Mr. Bult. And on it's gone on, including him telling my husband some things about me that were not even true. So now it's going into my business class. And when that starts happening, guys, you got to really stand up for yourself and be like, okay, you know, this is your perspective, your morality you put on me. It is not mine, and it's not acceptable. So I don't know what my husband did. It's not Gabe's fault, but I think my husband heard some stuff and thought, okay, if this is true, I'm divorcing her, and it's not true. So I actually, when I was getting nervous, I was about to say, I think you're too young for me to work for because of the stuff going on. And I actually was in prayer. And when you are in prayer and asking God to help you with dealing with somebody who doesn't leave you alone after you've been like, you know what, I need my space, you know, you're making me uncomfortable, it is time to be like, you know, it's time to say something. It's time to really get in there and say, let's talk about the details. So I have nothing against him. Personally, he was young. He was a young whippersnapper. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how to deal with things. So I think it's all done now. But the church came after me too. I had someone in the church accusing me of stuff too. And when you get in those situations, guys, you need to get out of it because it's not healthy when you have other people, you know, accusing you of stuff. It's not okay. And the enemy likes to accuse. That's the thing. They love to accuse you, the enemy, of all kinds of things. When you are in a church that's very accusing, you need to say, this church is not for me anymore, guys.